Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting cruise review. Today we're reviewing the Celebrity Solstice 5-night voyage down from Los Angeles to Cabo in Ensenada, Mexico. We took Southwest from Phoenix on the quick flight, arrived the night before and stayed in Long Beach, and arrived bright and early for the ship. We had an 11:30 a.m. boarding time, arrived around 10:30 hoping we'd get on board the ship. Unfortunately we had to wait until our exact boarding time when they started all the embarkation process for everyone. It was quick from then on. Left the terminal though. I was in the other terminal for my Princess ship back in March 2022. I like this terminal a little bit more. We were starving, so we headed straight for the Buffet Ocean View Cafe. It was a great start to the cruise because I noticed how much better the food was on a Celebrity ship versus my Royal Caribbean voyages. The other cool thing was that we could drop our bags off immediately at our staterooms. They were still kind of cleaning them up and getting them ready, but this is a little bit different than on my Royal or pretty much any other cruise I've taken over the last year, is that you can access your staterooms immediately and at least drop off your carry-on bags. So that would have been nice to know. We wouldn't have had to drop off our suitcases with the porter just because it was a simple rollerboard. But first things in the room, we had an ocean front balcony, bathroom, nice and big. Loved the real door on the shower. Small closet, but good enough. Really liked the way that this room was laid out. They had robes, which we didn't use. Then you have a small couch there. Didn't appear to roll out. Some charged waters there on the bureau. And then you actually had a mini bar that was all charged items as well. Nice big size TV right here. So we did love that. And then you have a bed that we had to split because I was traveling with my brother-in-law this trip, so we wanted two separate beds there, so they were able to switch that around for us, no problem. And I loved this oversized balcony, so we lucked out with this. We were on the little bubble in the center part of the ship, so we had a really great view of the entire cruise. The port of Los Angeles is by no means a beautiful port to depart from. There's a federal prison, there's lots of cargo ships. They do have this really nice bridge though, and I did like the location of this terminal versus the other one. So just keep that in mind. So we used the rest of the day to kind of explore the ship, get to know our bearings, checked out Le Petit Chef. They were promoting that as a discount on the first day. Here's a look at the Blue Restaurant, which is exclusive just for Aqua Suite guests. So overall, we were really excited to check out everything on board. It just seemed like they had a lot going on. The Martini Bar was something that I really loved on my previous Celebrity ship. I had to get one of those, so that was pretty cool. The Frosted Bar keeps your drink cold, able to play around with that. It was a really cloudy day on sail away. We did manage to find the Sunset Bar and enjoy a picture that seemed to net out to be a little bit cheaper. Wanted to check out the glass blowing show too. This is something super unique to the Solstice ships, so you can sign up for classes and take home a little piece of glass that you actually made yourself, which is cool. Sail away happened quick. We were on our way to Cabo San Lucas. Wanted to try another drink at the World Class Bars, which is a pretty cool spot. They have some smoked cocktails. They have just your fancy cocktails that you might find at a big city in America. So definitely a popular spot. Soon enough, it was time for dinner. We were really excited about this. Here's a look at the first night's dinner menu. Has all your cruise favorites. Everything seemed a little bit more upscale. They give you 3 different types of dips or butters each night, which I really liked. Started out with the beef ragu, which was fantastic. Apparently they make all their soups from scratch each day. Had to try the escargot as well, which were really good. And then tried the steak out, which is available every night. Really good cut of steak, cooked to perfection. And wanted to show you what my brother-in-law got, which was the fish. So we did have Mai Tai dining, but we had the same table every night that we ate in the main dining room, which is great. It's cool to see the Carnival ship traveling with us. And then it was time for dessert. They brought out a separate menu. Wanted to try out the Cherries Jubilee, which was really good. So overall, really thrilled with all the food on board so far, so I was really excited about that. Then it was time for the comedian welcome aboard show. Usually my favorite show. I like it when they kind of give you a taste of everything that you might be able to see throughout the week. Gives you a feel of how good the crew is. And lots of dinner and dancing going on throughout the night. Went to the casino and had to try that out. Had some luck on the Heidi machine. One nice thing with Celebrity is that if you are actively gambling, you get free drinks inside the casino. They're well drinks, but it is a nice little change from Royal Caribbean that you have to hit a certain status to get the free drinks. So if you're a gambler, you may not have to get that beverage package. They had some great activities on board. The lawn club is a really cool highlight. They actually have a grass putt-putt area. We joined the putt-putt competition. I actually won that. It was available over multiple days. I was sailing as a select member because I matched my Royal Caribbean status, so I got a few extra little perks while on board. We had about a day and a half at sea. It takes a while to get down to Cabo, so I got to enjoy the welcome aboard party for Captain's Club members. They had free drinks for about an hour, which is really great. This is something that I haven't seen on any of the other ships that I've been on as real status member. So it was nice to get a little bit of recognition, get some free drinks on the ship. So definitely a step up for Celebrity there. Pool was very, very popular. They had a little pool Olympics going on. Super fun there, and it was time for dinner. So the menu changes every night. They also have some items that stay on, so those are all in the boxes on the right. Definitely went with the steak tonight. It was delicious. And then wanted to try the creme brulee, which is my favorite dessert. Always get that on a cruise. Then you have the phyllo tulip, which was interesting. Not the most amazing dessert, but presented really prettily. Went back to the martini bar, and it was pretty cool to see them pour multiple martinis at the same time. That's always something special. This place is always packed. So we rode the elevator down, got some shut-eye for the evening. Love this atrium though on board the ship. Love the elevators. They came really fast. Some ships, the elevators just don't ever seem to really function all that well, and handled it very well. One big difference with Celebrity I noticed, they brought beach towels to your room for you each evening. There's no like $25 charge for not returning them or like a threat of that. So that was really great. In the morning before we arrived in Cabo, they did the galley tour, which was really cool. They gave us a glass of champagne, walked us through the galleys to see how the whole ship operated. So really cool there, because on Royal Caribbean ships and other ships, it seems like they're now charging for this. So definitely another Celebrity difference. One nice thing about arriving late into Cabo in the day, we arrived around 11 a.m. Got to get off the ship around 12 or 12:30. Is that it was bright and daylight, really pretty sailing in from the balcony here. So if you're sailing down to Cabo San Lucas on Celebrity, or really any ship, I recommend the port side if you are arriving to Cabo first, because you'll get a nice view as you make the turn around the arch. Though if you do leave during the day, it really depends on the timing of your itinerary. You might want it on the starboard side. Cabo is obviously a very fun destination. The worst thing with getting here on a cruise, though, is that it never seems like the port times are really long enough, and you have to tender in. There's no pier, so it takes forever. This is the major detraction, I think, from our voyage, is that it took over an hour and a lot of sweet talking to get off the ship as near first as possible. The system just really didn't work very well, and then there were swells, so they could only operate 2 tenders at a time, or 2 tender stations, so it just was not a great experience. So we arrived on shore, ran over to Mango Deck, grabbed some lunch at my favorite taco stand, La Lupita, as well. This is all on Medano Beach, which is a nice little spot. You can take a water taxi direct from the ship pier. We got back to the ship pretty much right on time that they told us to get there, and it was still a 45-minute wait to get on a tender ship. So that was not the best experience, I would say. Kind of rocky getting back to the ship too, but we made it in time for dinner. Got some nice salad there. and had the nice pasta for my main. That was delicious. We really loved our wait staff as well. They were really attentive and great. So overall, just a really, really fun time on board. This was the final round of the putt-putt competition. So we had to putt from one floor down to a hole that they had placed on floor 3. So I ended up winning this. This was really, really fun. Lots of cool activities, and they really try their best, I think, to make things a little bit more inventive and fun for guests on board Celebrity. I think I earned some gelato after that, so I went and used my Select's free gelato over at the gelato station on deck 5. Really good gelato there, and we were sailing over to Ensenada, so we had a sea day in between. Then it was time for dinner again. Had the tomato soup. It was lobster night, so we didn't want to miss this. Had lobster. Ended up making a surf and turf. This was one of the first cruises, unfortunately, that they added an extra charge for an additional lobster, but they did have baked Alaska, which was fun to try, and then a little fruit dessert there that was a little healthier option. They had great live music throughout the ship, throughout the whole voyage. Really high quality performers, I thought. Unfortunately, this is when the ship really started rocking. We had a storm off the coast of California that was really causing some crazy movement of the ship. And it was able for us to get into Ensenada. It was actually kind of touch and go there whether we would be able to or not. It ended up being a nice day weather-wise, but sadly, our ATV and wine tasting excursion got canceled. So we were stuck just kind of doing things around the port. So I actually went to my favorite ceviche place, which is kind of the thing I'm most excited for in Ensenada, La Guerrerense Cartera. The cart was actually closed because of a winter little holiday they had, but they do have a brick and mortar restaurant. So I really just took some more pictures of the ship and videos of the ship, and then headed back on board after that. Participated in some of the activities like the bocce ball competition. Really just enjoyed the nice views from the ship that day after lunch. I'll say that there's not the bells and whistles like Royal Caribbean ships. They don't have big water slides or anything like that, but I really did love all the different spaces and activities on board the ship. Loved the food. They had churros. You're in Mexico. It was cool to try a little churro action there. They had real ice cream on the buffet, which is really cool. I didn't get to try the sushi on 5, but the sushi looked really good. And really pretty sunset as we sailed away from Ensenada back to Los Angeles the next morning. Now for some final fun, I wanted to enjoy my last night on board, so I actually skipped the main dining room, went over to the Tuscan Grill. Wanted to try the specialty restaurants on board, see if it was really that different. I thought that the food in the main dining room and in the buffet were incredible, but I wanted to see what you got for that extra $50 or $60. So this is kind of the Italian steakhouse on board. They have a ton of food for you, so you're not going to go starving at this restaurant by any means. Loved the fresh chopped herbs that they do right at your table to pour the olive and vinegar in there for the bread. Really delicious bread, all fresh baked, warm, so a little bit different I think than the main dining room. I got the olive tapenade bruschetta, which was really fantastic, nice and warm too. Went with the beet salad, which was high end. You can tell all the vegetables are very fresh. Loved the pasta. This is a half portion. Gotta ask for that because I had the filet coming. Best steak I've had on board in quite a while. I also had those polenta sticks over there. And then dessert, I wanted to try the tiramisu, even though it was absolutely stuffed. Really nice there and not gigantic, and had a really nice amaretto cookie there. So overall, that was our trip on the Celebrity Solstice. I really enjoyed my time, and thanks a lot for watching.